Because I have all these T-shirts from like cheer and dance that I like don't want to get rid of, and they're in this box, and I've just moved them from house,
even our
like apartment to house
shirts.
Right. Yeah, like our family has this annual croquet tournament every year, and it's awesome. You should do it with your family if you don't do it already. But we have all these T-shirts because we have a T-shirt every year, and like that one year we ended up having 2 shirts and switched them halfway through the course because 2 people got T-shirts made. But you have all these T-shirts that you don't want to throw away, but you don't necessarily wear them anymore. And it's like, everyone's like, well, you can make a quilt or you can do this. And I'm like, I don't have time to do that. And that's always been something I
wanted to do. But time, no. I have them. Baby clothes too like that.
Right.
Like, or just like jammies from like Christmases and things like that I always wanted to like make something
do something
with.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of She's Got It Together. I'm your host, Jessica.
And I'm Samantha. Each week we peel back the curtain on what it really looks like to have it together.
From the messy moments to the milestones, we're here to share it all.
So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's dive into today's topic. So let's dive into some spring organizing tips, because as busy moms, things can get piled up and we all tend to need to use the spring to declutter. And I feel like, Jessica, you are kind of a pro in like the decluttering realm. So like, why is springtime a great time for families to organize and declutter?
I think it's just a natural time that you're coming out of hibernation. You've been
from the winter.
Right. You're coming out of hibernation and you're, everything's kind of just been piling up over that period of time, and it's time to purge. It's time to start getting rid of things, start, organizing. And then it's change of season. So your clothing is going to change. You're going to have to, switch into your summer gear, at least your spring and summer kind of thing. So it works out well that way. I do think that being cooped up over the winter, I start some of my projects usually during that time, just small things. Like that's one of the things that makes it a little bit easier, is that I'll go through drawers or go through closets usually during that time and just start to slowly get some motivation, kind of get that ball rolling towards a bigger purge during the spring.
Well, I think with spring, like the weather is nice, like you can open the windows and clean, and you're just more motivated to clean. You're like, yes, it's getting nice out. Like, let's get all this stuff out of here. Yeah. Start cleaning. You're more motivated.
Like it's just that stuffy feeling you're trying to get rid of. And I think a lot of different places have like spring cleaning for their trash, so you can put out more garbage.
Yeah.
I think there's
more like furniture and stuff like that, items, like bigger items that you. Yeah, I know like up at the cottage they have like around like the 4th of July, they have like a pickup where you can pretty much put anything out there, like an old fridge, a couch, whatever that you normally like can't just throw away in the trash, or you're not supposed to anyway. Like they might not take it depending where you live. But there's like those times, and you want to go through things before that date so that you can have everything out to the road by then. So I think that's another thing, is there's just more of those pickup days too. It's a good point.
Yeah. It's a process. I think you have to remember that it's not going to be something quick. It's something that's just going to take time. Because I feel like you want to like say, okay, I'm going to do my spring cleaning over this weekend or something, and that's just not realistic.
So like, how do you make it like how do you make it not overwhelming? Like it can be overwhelming thinking like we have the whole house to declutter, like, and then that's just daunting. So like, how do you make it so it's not so overwhelming?
Well, and that's it. Like, that's just doing the small things, one little thing at a time. It's like
one room at a time,
one drawer at a time. It's not even by room. Like one drawer, one cupboard. Like you need to go real small. Like it's like the kitchen. Like do a drawer or 2 at a time. Just do it in your downtime throughout the day, do a cupboard, organize it, get stuff out. And that also lets you not have a ton of trash all at once. Because that's what really bugs me. It's like, I'll sometimes get a wild hair in my ass and want to like just go at it. And then I end up with all this garbage. And it's not anywhere, like trash day probably just passed. So I've got a week to wait to get it all out to the curb. And then you've got your garage all cluttered.
Well, and I think for me, like, I'll get, like, really motivated, like, yep, I am going to clean out, like, my entire closet, and then you throw everything out, and then, like, halfway through, like, you are so unmotivated, like, you don't want to finish it, it was just too much, you are super excited, and then now you're just like, okay, this isn't fun anymore, because I remember I was watching The Home Edit, and so I got super stoked to, like, organize my closet, and, like, you know, color coordinate by the rainbow and all this stuff, and I was so you take everything out and then you have to like go through it and then like put it back in, and I'm just like, oh my god, what did I get myself into? Because halfway through I was like, I am so sick of like picking all these like clothes up that were on the floor and then finding a hanger for them. Do I want to keep them? Like Goodwill, like donations. Yeah, does it spark joy? So I'm just like, oh god. So yeah, I was a little overwhelmed with that one, but I mean I got it done in a couple days. I think I just kind of moved the clothes off the bed.
But did you keep it that way?
No, I didn't.
Right.
I did for a while, and then we moved to our new house, and then I put everything back in, like, by the rainbow, and I had it really good for a while, and then I just lost the motivation. I'm like, I don't care, just, like, hang it up, and I lost it, because I had it organized by color, and then I had it organized also by, like, tank tops, t-shirts, like, sweaters, and all that stuff, and then I just got lazy, and then some of it's still the same. The stuff that I don't like really wear that much is in order, but then all the stuff that I wear all the time is like all up in the front, because I'm like creature of habit. I just wear like the same thing all the time.
I do that
and so
too.
that's in front.
Yeah, I have like actually everything that's in my closet I don't wear. Everything that I do wear is like folded on, you know, like I have this like sideboards like shelf thing, and that's where all of my clothes are that I wear. It's so crazy.
And I feel like when it's time to go through the closet and they're like, do you wear this? Do you? And I'm like, you know what? Like, I feel like if I get rid of all the clothes that I don't wear, I won't have any clothes. And I'm like, I don't want to
mind
like,
over matter.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like I can't get rid of all of these clothes, even if I don't. Maybe I want to wear them in like a month or 2 years, or you know, I'm just like, I feel like I can't get rid of these. I feel like I have done better though. I've gotten rid of clothes that I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna fit into those anymore. Like now I'm post baby, like those probably aren't gonna work. It's not my style anymore. Yeah, I was like, I can get rid of those clothes from like Forever 21 that I bought in college that I'm not wearing anymore. And so I'm like, I got rid of those, and then now I have, but I also have like, what do you do with those like? Because I have all these t-shirts from like cheer and dance that I like don't want to get rid of, and they're in this box, and I've just moved them from house,
even our
like apartment to house
shirts.
Right. Yeah, like our family has this annual croquet tournament every year, and it's awesome. You should do it with your family if you don't do it already. But we have all these t-shirts because we have a t-shirt every year, and like that one year we ended up having 2 shirts and switched them halfway through the course because 2 people got t-shirts made. But you have all these t-shirts that you don't want to throw away, but you don't necessarily wear them anymore. And it's like, you know, everyone's like, well, you can make a quilt or you can do this. And I'm like, I don't have time to do that. And that's always been something
I wanted to do. But time, no. I have them. Baby clothes too like that.
Right.
Like, or just like jammies from like Christmases and things like that I always wanted to like make something with.
Yeah.
But they're overflowing. Like there's Rubbermaid tubs full of stuff, and I've never done any of it.
Maybe like later on when they're older and you would have more time, like when they're like, and like maybe when they're older, like they're like my age and they're in their like 30s, like they have kids, you could make a quilt, like a Christmas quilt out of their PJs for them, or so, like maybe when you have more time. So that's like why I'm like, I don't want to get rid of them yet. I might have time later to like do something with them. So they've just been in a box, and I've moved them from like apartment to apartment. Yeah, I said apartment, really weird. Apartment to house to, you know. So I'm just like, well, They can just stay in there until I decide what I'm going to do with them, I guess. Some people are probably going to be like, just throw them out. You'll never miss them. Right? Like, they're in a box. Just throw them out. You won't miss them. But I'm like, when I go to do it, I'm like, I can't do it. I can't throw you out.
Because they're things you can't get back. But I have some things from, like, our travels. So, like, actually, when we went to Gatlinburg and you came, we brought you as a babysitter years ago. Like, a long time ago. Taylor was, 2 or 3? 3, I guess, maybe. Anyways, we went to Gatlinburg, and I bought this tank top at Old Smoky, the distillery.
Oh, yeah, I have one, too.
The bright red one.
Yeah.
Well, I wore it, like, once, but it was kind of small. And it was like, okay, I'm going to get into this at some point in my life.
Oh, yeah, there's lots of those clothes. Mm-hmm.
I can't get into it, but it's, like, sentimental to me because it was such a fun trip. And then I've got something like that from when we did the Bourbon Trail a couple years ago, and I got one from Willett. Well, it's a little small too, so I have that one. And then there's like 10 other ones like that. And I mean, I've got one from Marco Island that I don't wear it, but I don't want to get rid of it.
I know.
Why?
Well, and that's the thing. It's just such a mental thing because, like, I feel like when I was pregnant and I got in that nesting phase, I like threw away so much stuff, donated so much stuff. Like, I didn't care. I'm like, get it out of here. I don't care. I don't miss it. I don't want it.
That's good.
And then we moved to our house and I'm like, dang, I really could have used that rug. I really could have used that chair. I really could have used that lamp. And so now I'm like, you know what? Like, I better cool it this time around because I might be throwing out things that we need because I was just like, oh gosh, like, you know, because you still have that stuff from like family, like, because Brett and I moved in together and we both had like, you know, some of your stuff from like your college apartment.
Lots
and,
of
like,
hand-me-downs.
Family hand-me-downs. And we're just like, oh, you know, this is like, we're trying to like have like an aesthetically pleasing home, but also like not be, you know, too greedy. We don't have all this money to like buy all this new stuff, but we're just like, do we really need that like old chair? Probably not. Do we really need that zebra rug? I don't know. You know, it's just like
zebra rug. I remember that.
Yeah, it's a nice rug. I'm just like, I don't know.
It was in your guest
room
at the apartment.
Yeah, we probably could have used that in our basement now. So and it was a big rug, and I'm just like, oh god, like why did we get rid of it? But that's what happens when you're in that nesting phase, and you're just like throwing everything out. So that just kind of shows it is like a mental thing. Luckily, I didn't get a hold on my clothes then because I probably would have threw out that box of t-shirts. But
ooh, yeah, you probably would.
It was in the storage unit, I think, that we had or something, or back in my closet.
That's probably best.
Be like, get rid of that. Brett's like, stay out of the garage. Like, you're gonna be throwing out my stuff.
He would have been happy if you would have hit your mugs.
Oh my god, see, that's the one thing. And he's like, well, I have a ton of coffee mugs, and I'm actually like kind of
mug fetish.
I love mugs. And he's like, every time you buy a new mug, you have to get rid of an old one. I'm like, hell, no, I don't, because I'm like, these mugs have meaning. Like, I like to get one when we travel places, or like if there's just like a cute one, I'm like, oh my god, it's like a cute mug.
I got our Ray done. I've got our travels. Like, we've got one from Tequamanon Falls. Actually, I think
oh my god, so do I. That's where I got one. Yeah. And then Brett loves that mug because it comes with a little spoon. So, and I'm like, aren't you happy I got that mug? And I have one from Beaver Island when I went there in college for my botany class. So yeah, there's and like they, you know, they're fun mugs, but I am getting into this like glass mug phase.
I noticed that.
And because
we used to have those up north.
Yeah, and so I'm kind of like, I never even unpacked all of my mugs because I didn't have room, and then Bo started taking them all off because it was like open shelving. So then now I have a new closed shelf, and I'm just kind of like getting into the glass mugs. Yeah, Brett put it together.
Awesome.
So it's ready to go. It's great. Bo can't get in it. Thank God. He was like taking my coffee out, dumped the coffee everywhere, my coffee grounds everywhere.
Your fancy coffee. You're a coffee snob. I
mean, it's not that fancy. I mean, some of it might be. Yeah, I don't like any of the sweet stuff. You know, I just like regular coffee. Like, I don't like the vanilla.
The cherry coffee. Remember that?
I do like that, except it's almost like not cherry-y enough for whatever reason, and so I haven't been drinking it that much. But I just like normal coffee. I don't like all the flavor in it. you know?
You like it, yeah.
If I want flavor, I'll add it myself. You know, I don't like want it in the coffee.
You want it to be in control.
Yes, I do. What else is new? Yeah. But I feel like one of the high, like, declutter, like one of the high traffic areas, I think, in our house is, like, because, like, you can come in from the garage and then you have, like, a little hallway, then it's, like, the kitchen. And so I feel like...
a galley kitchen.
Yeah, and I feel like that's, like, easy, like, to put mail on the counter and, like, throw your keys on the counter and all this random stuff on the counter. And it's, like, a high traffic area. Like, how do you just, like, keep it clean?
Hot spot.
Yeah, it's like you just have these dump spots in your house. And I'm like... I hate it. It looks bad, and it's just clutter. And then I'm like, you know, trying to get Brett on board with this. Like, let's not put it here. Like, hang up your keys. Like, put your wallet somewhere else. Like, and it's just like, maybe I need a basket or something. To put there.
You need one of those little baskets that hang. We just put that up in our laundry room.
Oh, that's a good idea. We do have room on that wall there.
We have we did an in or out, or it's like two baskets. It's got in and out, and it's just like a mail thing. But we actually use it more for a little bit of everything in there. So like he can have his wallet. I have Grandma's old key ring that she has on her door. It's like the little house in the tree.
Right.
That there. And then that way we can dump the mail, because the mail always ended up in the kitchen, which is not anywhere near where we're coming in, but we always go to the kitchen and put our stuff down on the counter. I can hang my purse, because my purse would always go to the kitchen counter. And then everything's by the door, but it's out of sight. And it's
that's the thing too.
Nice.
It's like, I don't want like a mess, like where everyone can see it, you know? So it's like, you want to have like a designated spot. And like, we have room to like put in almost like a little like mud room, like pantry closet or like something. So I'm like, that would be nice. To like have like a little bench where you, and like a shoe thing, and then have a place where you can put our coats. Because we have like the coat closet, but it's in the front door, and you don't always use the front door.
Yeah, don't use that,
And so then it comes like, we have like a little shoe thing, and the coats tend to just like lay on top of it. And I'm like, this is not working. It's messy. Like, can we at least get some like hooks up here? So I feel like if we just got like a little like, you know, closed little pantry shelf, put like a little thing on there, it can be like the little dump spot.
Yeah, you can make that really helpful. Cute, actually.
Right.
It's very farmhouse feeling, you know?
It's a farmhouse
very
vibe.
Cute. But yeah, those hot spots really get you for sure. But I think
they do.
If you can get them off and like hung somehow, I feel like that's a really good way to fix things. Is just using the wall space. Well, and I did that at our old house, down the stairs, down going towards the basement. We put like just hangers, or not hangers, but like hooks, and we were able to hang our coats because we didn't have anything at the garage door.
Right. I remember
that. And that worked really well, especially for hats. DJ and his hats.
Oh, yeah.
They're everywhere. Like, they go on top of the potato jar. Like, we've got this canister that you put potatoes in, and we've got one for onions and garlic. For some reason, all his hats go on top of the potato one.
Interesting.
And it drives me nuts. So I'm like, we need a new location. They just fit
I feel like I read somewhere where they're like, if you want to have like an organized or like a decluttered home, like, don't put anything on the floor.
Right, no floor.
Like, have
your wall space.
I was like, that's good. That's good. Because I'm like, ooh, like, let me just shove all these blankets under this, like, you know, end table, and like maybe I should.
Well, that's why you get a basket.
Yeah.
So I have a basket like in our living room to put the blankets in. Otherwise, they'd be folded or thrown.
I feel like mine are never not on the couch. Like, it's either folded on the couch because I use it all the time, or like something. But it would be nice to have just designated areas for things, you know, one thing at a time, because I feel like I think about like all of the stuff that I have to like find a spot for or organize, and then I just don't do anything. And if I'm like, you know what, today I'm gonna get a basket for the blankets in the living room, done, check. And then you're like, okay, cool, done. So then when you're mentally ready to do something else, you're like, okay, I'm gonna do that
one thing at a time. That's why I like doing like a drawer at a time, or like going through a cupboard at a time. I mean, you just organizing the canned goods. is like when I open that cupboard, I just immediately go into overwhelm because it's just like I will have it organized and then we'll get groceries and then it's just like just shove it wherever it'll fit kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
And I am guilty of all of this. I do it just as much as anybody else.
I feel like it's like you get tired or you're in a hurry and you're just like, I'll get back to it. I'll go reorganize it later. It's just, it's hard to keep yourself like accountable on that kind of stuff sometimes because like life just happens. But then I guess that's why we have these like decluttering moments so that you can declutter what you want. Right.
It's like, okay, let's get this out. And I love using, I like using like pop can containers. So like a 12 pack, like I like to cover those. Like I'll cover them either with like contact paper or different tapes and make them look pretty and use them for different canned goods. So
like you keep them in there?
Uh-huh. So like if they're all tomato soups, because we have like on our shelf in the garage, we have kind of got like our overflow pantry or, just our stock. So like tomato soup, chicken noodle soup, if we've got canned beans, canned corn, whatever. Instead of just having them sitting on the shelf, like I'll have them in this and then you can stack
that's a good
them.
idea. Mm-hmm.
But you could put like whatever, it is on there. And like, if I have contact paper that's left over or like the peel and stick paper, like I'll put them on the box. But you can just stick, with a piece of tape or however fancy you want, get your Cricut out or whatever, and just put, what it is on there. And it looks
a good idea.
Cute. And it's,
I never thought to do that.
You're reusing random things because I can go down that.
Well, you get the cute containers, like that's my thing. I'm like,
fortune.
The container store is so expensive.
I know. Well, I mean, yes. It's
even those home edit containers. It's just like, oh my gosh, like they're so tempting, but like so expensive, and then like you're not sure like the size you need or like what's gonna work in this space, and then it's like what
I buy everything.
Like I'll get them and return them, and gosh, it's
keep
hard.
them
I can get sucked in on the container is bad, and it's just like I love.
Well, they stack so nicely.
Well, right, and like that's what I like. It's like it's so like organized and it looks great and everything has its place, but like in reality, like that's like I need them to just come to my house and do it for me and like get all the sizes I need. Like can we just like I need to fill out like the form.
The problem with that though is once if you end up with one or two more, then next time you go to the store or whatever happens,
they won't fit.
They don't fit.
I know.
And then you need a different size. So that's where I had to kind of stop with that because it's like, like I got like the spaghetti noodle one that the long one that you put it in. Well, I ended up with a pack too many. And I'm like, so what do I do? Like I either need to upgrade it or I need to have the ugly blue box out. Like,
well, or it's like, let me put this in my stash pantry because there's not room. If you are lucky to have like an extra pantry somewhere. It's like, where do I put my extra food?
And I went and I did, when we lived at our old house, which was much smaller, and it was like the pantry was like kind of the size of a small closet. But I had it all organized. And I did do all those containers. And I bought the cheap ones. So I bought the budget-friendly ones. And things went stale. So
because they weren't sealed.
Ruined all of that because I went to like the Dollar General. And I got everything. And they weren't meant to be long-term
like food saver.
Like that. Yeah, so I had my beans in one, which the beans were fine because they were dried beans. But I put the pasta in some other ones. And they were still, $3 a canister or whatever, like the food saver style ones. But they didn't last. And honestly, it's like it's like the whole purpose.
Are you like well, the thing is, it's like your pantry's usually closed, so it's like when you have friends over and you want them to see how pretty your pantry is when you open it up to get out a snack. Oh my God, your pantry!
Like, check out.
I think for me, it's just like I like to look at it. It's like I like to look at it. I would love for everything to be, color coded and organized and all have a space because I'm like, what? All of their like blue chips probably don't fit in that basket, so they've got like something out in the garage that nobody sees full of all the extra food, and then they replenish it when it gets empty. But I'm just like, nothing ever always fits in those things.
Instagram, Pinterest, it's just not fair.
I know, you can just go down a rabbit hole with that. I mean,
I got the clear bins even, like which I bought a bunch of them, and then they have the little handles on the end. They all broke, so I'm like,
it's like I need to stop. It's like just get me like a. The thing is, I like the clear ones because you can see what's in there, especially when you're trying to find something and you're like, oh, I got to pull out this basket.
I did it
like
to
I
the fridge
see.
too.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That backfired.
See, I did get fridge organizers. Like they're just like they were off Amazon, like rectangle ones, and I'm like. And we don't have a huge fridge here, but like I was putting them in and like it almost like I still have them in there, but I was trying to organize them like water and like this and that, and I'm like not everything would fit in there properly, and then it's taking up almost more room in my fridge, and so I'm like, I don't think this is as helpful as I thought it would be, because I'm like, oh yeah, Bo's like pouches are in here. This is in here. I'm like, this isn't. I don't have enough room in this fridge, so they're still in there and not working great. But I was sick of stuff like falling over, when you go to get it, and I'm like, maybe
be able to slide it out and get to if there's a few different flavors or something.
And like that's the thing, you almost have to spend more money on the ones that you can like insert in your fridge and they like pull out and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not spending all that money on containers. So then I'm like buying these ones that were like $20, and I'm like, they're not working, and they don't stack. Like you can't stack them.
Oh my gosh!
And like if there's something in there, you can't stack it anyway because they're not. I'm just like, oh my god. I was like, impulse purchase. It did not go well, but they're still in there because I refuse. And then the one I was like, okay, I can use these extra ones that won't fit in the fridge for like Bo's stuff in like his like cabinet snacks. Well, the cabinet, like they're too long, so I can't have them like facing vertically. They have to go horizontal. I'm like, this is like not helpful either. I need like shorter half size ones for his stuff. So like you can seriously go down a rabbit hole with these containers. And I'm like, Sam, just put the box in the cabinet. It's fine. You don't need a cute organizer because nobody cares. And if it's not helping you, if it's making it harder, just get rid of the container. Use it for something else.
Stressing you out because it doesn't work like you need it to work.
I know.
Boy, oh boy. Yeah, so that's why I say use the DIY options. I mean, really.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like one thing that can be hard with like spring cleaning and decluttering is like you get in like this headspace of like how you want it to like get done or like what you want to do, and it's like
build it up in your mind.
Well, right, and it's a lot for like you to do on your own. So like, how do you encourage like your whole family to like participate in spring cleaning and not just having it be all on you, on the mom,
Well, I mean, what I usually do is the kids have to go through their clothes. They have to pull out anything of a certain size or a certain season. We did that in the fall, like with Taylor. It's like, okay, if anything is a 10, 12, I want it in this bag because we're going to donate it. Unless it has a hole in it or has paint on it, throw it away. And that's kind of what I do with her. I've had to be very strict by the size because I'll say to her, if it doesn't fit, put it in here. Well, she thinks everything fits her, even if it's skin tight or a belly showing. It could be an 8. It could be a 6.
Well, and I don't know what it is, but there are like some things kids just like don't want to get rid of. It's like, no, I love this shirt. It's Paw Patrol or whatever. It fits me.
right. See, it fits. Yeah. Breathe.
It's like, no, it's a belly shirt now, sweetie.
Yeah. No,
it's not gonna work.
With Hayden, it's not so much an issue with clothes because she's kind of stayed in the same size for the past almost 3 years. She's kind of just there, but we do kind of, I mean, I've been having to make sure she doesn't have any like 14, 16s because you need to go to Taylor now. You need to get out of those.
Yeah, so you probably shouldn't be wearing those anymore. Might be a little showing a little too much skin.
Yeah, I mean, yes. But so, I mean, she might pass a few things along. Yeah. But one of the biggest things I'd say would be like, let's purge some of your toys. Like we did this before Christmas, and we usually always try before Christmas. But even in the spring, it's good to just try to go through again because Taylor does not keep a clean room. She's me.
Right.
Like through and through. I mean, you know how bad my room used to be.
Bad.
It was bad.
It was pretty bad.
It was bad. So I want all my things.
Where's the floor?
Things to be close. Yeah, there's no floor. There's no floor. There's a couple layers before the floor. So she's pretty much me. She likes all her things very close. She sleeps with all of her stuff. It's there. Mm-hmm. But you know, there's so many toys in her room that she's not touched in ages, and I've discovered that we can't clean her room all at once. We just can't do it because I get overwhelmed, she gets overwhelmed, DJ gets frustrated. It's just like it all blows up. So we do it little bits at a time. I mean, I don't know how much progress we truly make, but it's a little. You know, I mean, it's enough.
I feel like it's hard for kids to get rid of their toys at her age too, because like you're still kind of connected to toys that you had when you were like more of a young kid, and you're still kind of like identifying with that. But then like you're getting older.
She doesn't play with them, right?
And you don't play with them. But like if there's a thought of getting rid of it, you're like, no, like I love that thing. Of course I play with it. And then it's like, oh, like a day you might play with it, and then it's like out of mind again. But like, have you ever gone in like? I know some parents will do this. It's like they just go and like take toys without telling their kid and then donate them, and they don't even know they're gone.
We've done that. And then actually DJ's done that. But so the thing with her is that she's okay if she'll get rid of them if she can donate them. But she wants to donate like every broken crayon, every missing, like random game piece, like every McDonald's toy.
It's like well, honey, and you know what? Almost let her put it in a bag. Like, okay, put that in this donate bag, and it just goes to the trash. You know?
Yes.
But she thinks she's donating it. But I mean, it's so nice that she's like, if I had to get rid of my toys, I want someone else to have it, which is like the goal you want. You know?
It is. And she's super sweet about it. It's just, it's very dramatic.
It's like, well, they'd love this crayon. It's half used, you know?
I know. Well, this still works. I'm like,
right. That's the thing. I think you almost have to do it in doses because it can be a lot for everybody when you're doing that.
It's and I mean, I feel like with her ADHD, and she just breaks down, and it's just like I have to give her like, okay. I mean, with ADHD, you can't give them many tasks. Like you can't give her 3 tasks. Like I have to give her like 1 or 2. Be like, okay, pick up all your dirty clothes. You know, get them to the laundry. I can maybe give her 1 more thing, but a lot of times I can give her 1, and it's best. And then she'll come back, or I'll give her a checklist. Like that's my new thing that I've been doing for like the last year. I'll type it up and print it out, and here's your checklist. I want you to do these things, and I'll go back and check. Because I shouldn't say a lot of times, but some of the times they don't all get hit. Well, but at least it gives her something to follow, and the anxiety doesn't come up, and she starts freaking out, getting upset.
Right, because she can visualize what she has to do, you know, with that checklist. Yeah. It's like, okay.
Because sometimes if I'm verbally telling her, she gets upset too. So it's just like, I'm trying to, I don't know, just find a neutral way to communicate this with you without getting
an argument.
I know, it's just
that's the thing. I think it can be a sensitive subject because like at one point you connected with all these toys and you want me to get rid of them. Like I was so connected to all my stuffed animals. I was like, no, like do not get rid of them. And Mom would put some up in the attic and I wouldn't think twice about them. But then when it came time to like get rid of them, I was like, no, how dare you? Like, I still use that thing. She's like, it's been in the attic for years. It's like, well, I didn't know it was missing, and now that I have it, I want it again. You know, it's just like...
What was Sid attached to? I don't remember her being attached
I don't think she was, like, attached like I was to stuffed animals. Like, if we had a choice, she'd get, like, nail polish, and I would get, like, a stuffed animal. Or she'd get a CD, and I'd get, like, a stuffed animal or, like, a toy or something.
That's funny. Yeah, I do, 'cause I do remember the nail polish.
But I feel like she was more into, like, that stuff. I wasn't. I was more into, like, playing,
degrees.
Like... Oh, God. 98 Degrees Christmas is not a Christmas CD, okay? No. I want to listen to, like, Kenny G or, like, Michael Bublé or,
G.
like, Bing Crosby. I don't want to listen to 98 Degrees on Christmas. I'm sorry. It's been like this for years.
Kenny G can't happen anymore. That is what because that was how Hayden was conceived at the doctor's.
Oh, well, you know what? You're going to have to get over it because I love that Christmas album.
Oh, that was playing at the doctor's. Whew.
Oh,
Not
dear.
good. Yes,
well,
oh dear.
Anyways.
On that note.
On that note. So, I mean, okay, you get the family involved. They, like, maybe have, like a list of things that they have to do to help you declutter or clean or what have you. But, like, how do you keep, like, the habits there? Like, how do you develop those habits so that they stay and your family, like, upholds them? Because I feel like we can be really good for, like, a week or two, and then, like, life happens and you're just like, oh, that was a great idea, but it hasn't worked, or it's not working, and then you just kind of, like, fall by the wayside.
I mean, I think that's why we have to do it every year. It's because it does fall
Mm-hmm.
by the wayside. I really don't think that spring cleaning would be a thing if we didn't always fall off the wagon.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, it's tough, especially over summer. I mean, summer, I feel like everything falls by the wayside except for
you're
fun.
so busy and you're not home as much. You're traveling or you're doing this or that, and you're just like, okay, throw that over there. We'll get to it. Or, you know,
and then when you come back for the winter, it's like, you're blah. You don't want to do anything. So, like, everything that you've left like, has now been really left because you're not motivated to do anything.
Right.
But I mean, really, if you can just get yourself organized a bit more in the spring, like, I mean, getting rid of the clutter, you enjoy having that free space, you know, enjoy not feeling that overwhelm or that heaviness from having so much stuff around you.
Yeah.
I mean, once you feel that and get that weight lifted, I think it's easier to continue to have that, at least for a time.
Yeah.
And
I know I feel better
motivates you
when my house is organized. Like when I start to like get overwhelmed and irritated when like things start piling up or the counters are getting like messy or there's stuff on the kitchen table and we're like just pushing stuff over to eat or whatever it ends up being. Like when the thing is, it's like I feel like the 10 minutes before somebody comes over, my house is the cleanest because you're just like cleaning everything up and you're organized. Right. And so it's like I'm like after like for Bo's birthday, like we had everybody over at the house, so we cleaned it really well, we organized everything, and then every single time we do something like this, I'm like, we are gonna keep the house this clean and organized. I feel great, it looks great, like, but life happens and it does not stay like that, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, and I'm just like, spring cleaning, why can't I keep it? And I think Brett and I have to get better about organizing that random stuff. Like, there's just stuff you don't know what to do with, but you can't really get rid of it, and you're just like, I gotta find something to do with this, or I need to get more, like, containers or baskets or, like, something so it has a place, and that way I don't necessarily have to, like, see it. You know, it looks somewhat organized because it's in, like, a basket or something. Though, too. I know. That's why I kind of got rid of the baskets. I know. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I don't know what to do with some of this stuff. And part of it is, like, Brett's problem because, like, it's his stuff. Yeah. And he needs to find somewhere to put it. And I'm sick of asking him to, like, put it somewhere. And it's, like, you know, like, just, like, random stuff, like, that he would work on, like, something in the garage or in the basement or whatever. I'm like, find somewhere to put this stuff because I don't want it here. And then it just, like, will pile up or,
well, it gets forgotten if it's in something. I mean, you remember our basement in our old house and how much we had stored downstairs.
All the toys down there. And
well, even under the stairs, the tubs and tubs of stuff when we moved. I mean, all the stuff that came out of that house, I have no idea how we had it packed in there.
I know. Well, I think that's what happens when you move. Like, moving is... If you have the time, if you move, that's a good time to just, like, purge things. Yeah. And that's, like, what happened because we had Bo and we moved, like, within, like, a month of each other. So we were, like, trying to, like, anticipate, like, getting rid of the stuff for the move, getting rid of the stuff because the baby's coming. We need more room. So sometimes it's good. And then other times, like, you have to move so fast, you just throw everything in boxes, and then you're just like overwhelmed when you get there, because then you have to go through all of it, and then sometimes you just don't feel like it, and you're like, I'll just leave it in the box and put it in the garage or
somewhere.
The basement where I don't care. And then you forget about it, and then you maybe move again, or you're like, okay, let's tackle this basement. And you're like, oh my God, that's where that was in that box. I forgot about you.
And there, I just keep it in that box and push it away.
Sometimes I just want to like go in the basement and like throw out boxes and not even look at them and be like, I don't even need what's in here. I haven't looked at it in years. There's no way I could do it.
I have too many memory boxes. Like, that's my thing. Like, I have so many memory boxes. I have boxes of pictures, like actual photographs that we've printed. Like, so many of them. I have a box of like the Feast of St. Clair stuff.
Oh, yeah.
All that stuff. Like, I mean, that's an entire box. It's crazy. So, I mean, that's how
I feel like there's stuff that you like need, but you don't need it all the time. And like, you feel like it's taking up space, but it's not. Memories. Like, you have to find a spot for it, you know. But
I mean,
that's why it's nice we do have a basement
collection to come.
Oh, right.
Yeah, from Mom's. I'm waiting for Mom to say.
Well, she has it all in that cabinet case, so you could just move that somewhere.
I don't know where I put that.
In your office?
I was going to say the only place would be my office. I'm going to have Barbies in my office.
Well, that might be kind of cool. I mean, they're collectibles after all.
Oh, yeah. I don't know where the boxes are, but, you know. Probably in the attic somewhere.
Yeah.
But gosh, stuff like that. And then the American Girl doll stuff.
Oh, yeah.
All of that she keeps threatening to send my way. I'm like.
Well, she's already given us some of our stuff that was in our rooms. I took mine a while ago, but Sid has been like stalling and had to take her stuff back over like Christmas, I think. And I got a couple boxes too, like, you know, yearbooks, old photo albums, like high school stuff, like all this old stuff that you don't want to get rid of, but like, okay, now it's coming from the parents' house to your house, and you're like, now I gotta find somewhere to put this.
Yeah,
okay,
she gave me that stuff a while ago, my tennis stuff, and oh my goodness. But
so that's the other thing. You get stuff from like other family members, like your parents. Like, okay, like, do you want your old like school pictures and art that we've saved, or do you want me to throw them out? You know,
that was for you.
It's like, that was for you. Yeah, I was like, if you don't want it anymore, feel free. I won't get mad now. Like, I won't be upset if you throw out my picture. She's like, I want to keep a few things, but I don't know if I need the whole box. I'm like, no, it's fine.
You do you. You do you. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the only thing you can do, I mean, unless you're a very, very strict with making these habits, is just remember that feeling that you have when things are cleaned out, you know, they're, you know, minimal clutter and all of that. I mean, that's
the feeling we all want all the time.
For us. It is, exactly. Thanks for joining us today on She's Got It Together. It's been a real journey sharing and laughing with you all.
We hope you're walking away with a smile on your face and a bit more confidence in your step.
Remember, you're not alone in this crazy ride called life. We're all in this together, one day at a time.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and of course, share this podcast with all the incredible women in your life.
Join us next week for more stories, more laughs, and more real talk.
Until then, keep embracing your unique journey, and remember, you've got it together more than you think.